story recently made international headlines when a general strike brought the country to a halt. The strike was called in support of the Global Sumud Flotilla, which was intercepted the night of October 1st. On October 3rd, there were mass demonstrations all across the country, including the town that I live in, Caserta. And since this was a big historical event and I love doing photography, I love doing street photography, I figured I would take my camera out and go out and document the day. I was shooting the day with this setup. This is the Nikon D600 with the 35mm Nikkor NC Auto f1.4 35mm lens. I guess the D600 is a vintage body now because it's a DSLR, it's not a mirrorless. And I really love this old school manual Nikon lens. It opens all the way up to 1.4 so I can shoot it in all kinds of lighting conditions. It's pretty soft at 1.4, but I'm not gonna complain. You get to still shoot at 1.4 for the bargain that this lens was. And 35mm prime lens is like classic street photography, news photographer stuff. I want to go out there and get to pretend like I'm in Magnum photos for a little bit. This is the kind of setup I'm gonna rock with. What I saw out there was really impressive. Caserta has a population listed around 75,000 people the last time I checked online, and organizers estimated that 8,000 people were in attendance for this march, which is almost more than 10% of the town's population. That's a crazy turnout. It wasn't just students, though there were a lot of students. There were families, there were people who were workers, there were a lot of organizations out there, and it was a really positive, wholesome environment. I tried to do my best to capture that on camera with what I was taking pictures of.
Da che parte stare? Palestina libera dal fiume fino al mare. Gli studenti sanno da che parte stare. Palestina libera dal fiume fino al mare.
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 Palestina libera dal
Palestina libera dal fiume fino al mare.
Israel, barra barra, Palestina, barra barra.
Israel, barra barra, Palestina, barra barra. Israel, barra barra, Palestina, barra barra.
Israel, barra barra, Palestina.
As the march got moving, we started at the train station, and then we first started heading down via Roma, which is one of the main downtown stretches where there's a lot of businesses. And, just as we started going down there, that's when it really hit me just how many people were out and how many people were in support. I really love this shot here of the older gentleman walking with this woman. Classic older Italian man, immaculate suit, casual, looks great, just looking very cool walking down the street, with this massive protest going on. And you can see behind him just like how many people there are, there's the banners, there's the flags. I also wasn't just trying to capture scenes and moments from the march. I also was trying to do street portraits to really capture, to get a sense or a range of the different kinds of people who are there. And I did 4 or 5 that day. I also went to street portraits because I wanted to copy Jamal Shabazz, who is one of my favorite photographers of all time. I think one of the coolest American photographers that I've ever had the chance to look at their photos. And I figured if I'm doing the whole anthropological, I'm an American living in Italy, I might as well try to lean into it through my photography and get these portraits of people. So. Two of my favorites, honestly, are the one of the older lady with the flag, and that I took a photo of her right as we started going down via Roma, and it was just it was kind of funny seeing her marching with the flag next to all these kids, the punk kids, the goth kids, they got all their chants going, and then you have this very respectable woman, this respectable citizen out here making her opinion heard in the, right alongside them. I really love the one of the family. You could see they had the pride on their face to be out there that day, and it was a beautiful day. In addition to the 8,000 people in the streets or whatever, there were people just hanging out of their windows on their balconies. That is one of the kind of cliche things about Italy that I really do love, is the streets with the balconies and people out on them, and it really makes the street feel alive, and it really felt alive. With the 35mm lens, it was kind of hard to get a good shot of people, of the people up more than a story high. Even at a story high, they're really far away, but I tried to do my best to show that. Eventually, the protest turned and went up Corso Trieste, which is the other main street for the city. Here I continue to do a few more shots of the crowd.
foto de... Grazie.
I know you.
Yeah.
You were
On the hill.
on the sanctuary.
Yeah.
How are you?
Doing well, doing well.
Yeah, doing well.
Yeah, no, it's good to see you, good to see you.
So after I was out there for a few hours, I was pretty happy with what I thought I had, and looking back, I think I did a pretty good day of photography. So, all in all, for my first vlog, this is a pretty crazy experience, and I figured it's a good thing to kick it off with. I do love this idea, the idea of these photos and this day as for anyone who's watching this still, the first impression of this town I moved to. Italy is a really big, complicated country with a lot of history, and maybe one day, I'm not going to act like I understand this place that well at all, other than my own life, and I really love this portrait of this community here as a way to start this channel off and start off these vlogs. Thank you for watching all the way to this point. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up. You could hit that subscribe button. I really hope to bring more content about, doing photography here out in Italy. Not just street photography. Hopefully, soon other kinds of shoots, and just talking about my experience out here. So, thank you for watching to this point, and I'll see you in the next video.